Assalamualaikum guys, what's up? Welcome to this channel that is offering you a free game development course. In the last video we have been discussing about the C# loops and iteration concept. In today's tutorial we are going to understand the functions, their implementation in Unity using C#. So without wasting time, let's get started. But before that, make sure you subscribe and turn the notifications on to get notified about the upcoming videos. So let's start. The question is, what is function and why we use them in C#? Functions are nothing. You can say it's a house where your code can be reside. Now I highlight this white star because it's also a function. You will get understanding of this after a few minutes. And the answer of why we use them is, first, they increase the reliability of the code. The second, it can be reused in the code anywhere by just declaring their name. To get understanding in details, first let's discuss the syntax of the function. In the syntax, it starts with the type of the function, that may be integer, character, or a void. Then the name of the function have been mentioned. After the name, the arguments of the function have been declared, or the variables that can be used within the functions. And then the body of the function, where the code have been written, and the curly braces to start the function's body and to end the function's body. Now let's discuss an example. In this example, it just starts with the word void. That means it's a method, does not return anything. Okay, and then at the second, the name of the function is mentioned. As you all know that in the last tutorial we have been learned the for loop, and as an example we consider a multiplication table. So I just reuse that code so that you do not mess up with the code again and again. Okay, so start with the void. Okay, then the multiplication table is the name of the function. The name of the function follow the same naming conventions as you have already used into the variable naming. You can also check out the naming convention that already discussed into the variable concepts. The link of that video is also mentioned in the description below. Okay, so underscore can be used and digits cannot be used as according to the laws. Okay, then the square braces are used with no arguments because I am just starting from the scratch, so I didn't use any argument to keep it simple. Then in the body of the function, I just write the code to print the multiplication table. Things matters nothing if we don't have their implementation. So let's perform its implementation into Unity and check out what happened if you just write this code into the script and debug. So just open Unity and the script that we have been changing in the last video. So this was the code that we have been working on in the last video. Let's clear this out. Now I just want to copy the code from this example. Just clear the example word because it doesn't make sense, or comment it out. Okay, and also just clear this white start. And I also don't need these cubes variables, so I just clean the code. Now you can see that there is a red underline below the equal sign. It means that there is some syntax error and it's clear that we didn't concatenate correctly. So just add a plus sign, save the script. All the code is written into the function multiplication table. Save script. For those who are watching my video for first time, make sure to place this script on any object that is present into the hierarchy. I placed it into the game object. Now let's start debugging. In the last video, when we placed the same code into the start function, the result was the output of a table. But now, nothing is printed into the console window. And why it happens? Now, here comes the major concept. The function you written within a script doesn't make sense if you didn't call it anywhere. Unity has already predefined some functions, for example start, then update function, I already mentioned that we are going to discuss them in detail in a separate video. So for now, I just want to tell you that the void start method in Unity, when you place void start, it's a predefined function into the Unity and it runs only the first time during the debugging. Okay, so when you start your debugging or run the code, the start function is the first function that we're going to execute for now. And because we didn't discuss the many other functions, okay, so I just declared the start function, save the script, same results will happen, nothing will print on the console window, and as you can see, because we didn't write anything into the start function. If you want to execute this code or any other code that is written in your function may consist of 1,000 lines or million of lines, and you want to execute at the start of the function, at the start of the execution, at the start of the debugging, you have to just call its function name or its method name that the IntelliSense is telling me that the multiplication table and the m indicating it's a method because doesn't return anything and start with the void. Okay, that multiplication table method is already exists in a table. Do you want to call this function or any other function? Yes, I want to add this function, so just hit a tab or press enter and then parenthesis. Now how the execution will start in this way. So when you debug your code, okay, nothing happened. Why? Oops, because I just wrote the small letter. Make sure to make a clear difference between the naming convention. Always remember that the C# is a case sensitive language, so do care about the capital words or a small word letters. Okay, so I just placed the capital letter S and now save the script and now debug. Here you can see the table of 9 is printed into the console. Wow, a magic. Okay, it's not a magic. So let's discuss its execution. How the execution work in this script. Any script can contain one start function that will get executed the very first time when the execution starts. So when it's execute the first line of the start function, it tells your compiler that please call the multiplication table method that is existing in your script. So it will start looking for the multiplication table method. Maybe it is defined right here or at the last of the script or anywhere else within a script. So it will go and search out for a multiplication table method. Okay, now it's fine. Oh, you are here. So it start execution the multiplication table first, its first line, second until the nth line. Then it came out of the function. After completing execution, the control moved back to this line, and now if you place right here, let's print done, save the script, first of all, clear the console, now run. Here you can see first the complete method of multiplication table is executed at the end. Okay, the complete table is printed, then the execution came back to this line right after the function called. That is print done, and then the print statement done is executed and printed onto the console window. I hope you get understanding of the basic function, that how to declare a basic method into Unity and how to call the method into the Unity. Now let's discuss the functions. The difference between method and function is just the method type or a function type. So let's say an integer, press tab or enter. As we are using the integer function, so it must return some integer value. So at the end, you must have to write the return 0 if you don't want to return anything, or some integer if you want that your method will return. Let's say I want to return this x value that is also an integer. So I will write just return x. Okay. Now the execution starts from start function. Multiplication table is called, that is our integer function containing its body that will get executed, and then the return x, what will the return x will do? It just return the value of x, that is 9. So this whole function, after completing its execution, return a value that is 9. And in the start function where we have calling this function, let's say an integer z that is receiving that return value, okay, and let's print the z value except the done to observe the results that either this function is actually returning 9 or not. Save the script and run your project. Here you can see after completing the multiplication logic, the function returned 9 that is received by z and it is printed onto the console window. I hope you get understanding of the integer variable, and you can also perform the same with the character variable. So in such way you can also return some sum values or any other features, any equations or all that. Okay, take a break at this point. Practice method and functions. Let's discuss another function whose type is character. So it must return some character, that is, let's say s. It's a character, and I already informed you that the character must be written within to the single quotes. Okay, so this method is returning a character. So there must be a character that is receiving this character. To change the type of the z to char, save the script and now run. Clear console. S will print it at the end. Here you can see. So this is the simplest concept of method and function. You can make thousands of methods and functions within a script, and you can call from anywhere within a script. Let's declare another method with the data type integer that is returning the sum of two numbers. Okay, let's say integer a and b, where a's value is 8 and b's value is 10. Okay, and b's value is 10. So just want to return the sum. So let's return a plus b. Okay, so as we have declared the function with the type integer, so we have to call into the start function so it get executed during the debugging. So let's call this function. Okay, no arguments, and it's returning the sum, guys, actually. So let's take a variable named I. Yeah, sure. This function return the value of sum that is saved into the I, and to check it out that either it's printing or not, let's print it into the print statement. Save script. Now run your program. Here you can see. First the multiplication function is called and then the sum. If you don't want to call the multiplication function, just comment this line, save the script and now run. But before that, make sure to clear the console and run. Here you can see the sum of two numbers is printed because the function is returning the sum of two numbers. So in such way the return can be used using functions. These were the simple functions. At the end, I would like to add some keynotes that you have to care about while using these functions. The very first thing, make sure when you're calling the function, its name must be the same as the name used in the function declaration. If you are using the type of the function named as integer, it must return some integer value. It cannot return a character value. For example, let's say a character s, storing a character named a, and in the return function I am returning the value of s, that is character. It's printed 97, that is actually the ASCII value of a. So when you are returning the data type of s, because it's an integer value, it will return an integer value, that is the ASCII value of a that is stored into the character s, not returning the value character a, because we are not using the function with the type character. I hope you get understanding of this basic methods and function differences. In the next video, we are going to discuss that how we can use the arguments within the function to make our code more reliable and more easy. I suggest you that whenever you are going to perform some task, always use functions and just call them into start, update or any other method so that it make your code reusable. So in any other time you need that code, you just have to call that function and get executed. So try to make your code compact and easy. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe and turn the notifications on to get alerts of the upcoming videos. So stay tuned, keep watching. Allah Hafiz.